Good morning and welcome to Houseplant for June. This month we're going to be doing a cyclamen and working with a little bit of rickrack. So I thought I'd just talk a little bit about the layout first. Some little tips to help you. Remember to do the squares, rectangles and strips. You can use your hot ruler and flatter. Another little tip here, you could make a 2-inch perfect circle and just cut it in half, and that'll give you the two halves over here for the semicircles. So the first thing you're going to do obviously is all your background layering. Then you're going to put your vase on, and then you've got to attach your rickrack before you put your leaves on or your flowers. So a couple of different things you can do here. I generally like to stitch my rickrack down in valley and hill just with my cotton thread so that it's in the right place. And then we're going to couch over it. So if you don't want to stitch it down with cotton thread, you can couch it straight away. So you can see here how I've couched it with a number 8. So when you couch, you're coming from valley to valley like this, and it'll give this little stitch across the rickrack like that. So you can either stitch it ahead of time, or you can just put it on immediately with the rickrack with the pearl cotton. You're going to also see that these leaves all overlay each other, so you're going to start with this one, then this one, then this one, then this one, then that one, so that they all underlay each other, with this being the one on the top. And the same with these, you've got this little piece at the bottom of your flowers like that. So I think it's good for all that applique. Once you've got your applique done, then we will stitch. So let's see what we can do here. Just little tips. I did a little spiral sort of in the background here, just to give some texture. Did a little sort of zigzag across this little strip. Chain stitch here, running stitch, and then on these little white ones, depending on where your print comes, you can fill in with French knots and running stitches. For the leaves, I did all this couched with the chain stitch around the outside and filled in with French knots to give texture. So that's pretty good. With the flowers, the first thing you're going to do is again couch these lines to define the petals, and with doing it with a size 5, it defines it really nicely. And then to get the base, what I wanted for it to feed into the light pink, I did French knots in here, but I also ran them over the edge so that they came up into the pink a little bit here. Then just did a little highlight with little French knots, little cross stitches right here, and then little drizzle stitches at the bottom to give it a highlight as well. So these three are very similar. And then the little bud, we're going to do open buttonhole filler with a little woven picot here for a petal to give it texture, and a few French knots and couching. So I think it's pretty easy one. Not too difficult, as this one is not supposed to be difficult, but we are working along quite quickly this year, so I think we just have 3 more blocks to go, and so I hope that you enjoy working on this, and then next month I know we have a slightly larger flower to do. Looking through the Facebook group, it looks like most of you are managing quite well with all your bits, so I don't see too many questions that need to be addressed. But remember to always ask questions there. I do look them over and talk to Jen about things that people are having trouble with, as well as remember our tutorial page on our website. I always say it's like an encyclopedia. There's lots and lots of information there for you to read and look for references for different types of techniques, as well as threads and needles, and also my videos on Instagram for all the stitches. So if you have trouble with stitches or need a refresher course, there's lots of videos on Instagram as well. So happy stitching, and I will see you back in July.